Hey, real quick, before you leave, hear me out. There will be no spoilers about either of these in this video until you have made a blatant decision. You have 3 options and I made 2 videos. Option 1 is if you want to stay completely blind to this entire series, or you haven't read Iron Flame yet and you want to be blind, save this video, but then leave and come back, okay? Option 2 is this video right here, which is no content spoilers, but I am going to tell you how I felt about these books, this book specifically, and then I'll tell you my rating for it as well. Option 3 is if you've already read these books, especially Iron Flame, and you want to talk about it because I need to talk about it, but spoiler alert. That is on my page. Go to my page and go find it. It says option 3, okay? Okay, so no content spoilers, but if you want to be blind, get the fuck out. Okay, so first of all, I am not usually a fantasy girly. When I read this book, I thought, you know what? I could be a fantasy girly. After reading this book, I don't know if I am emotionally capable of being a fantasy girly. Maybe not being a fantasy girly that like the series isn't done and I have no closure, okay? The ending to this book was a cliffhanger, huge cliffhanger. The ending to this book is I am offended. I feel betrayed. It's a huge cliffhanger, but like, I'm not emotionally okay. Okay? Like, even talking about it, my heart is racing and I feel sweaty and I'm just like, okay? I just read this last week for the first time. The hype to this book had me intimidated. I was scared. I didn't think it was going to live up to it. And when it did, I was shocked. It didn't just live up to the hype, it exceeded it exponentially. This book's hype was even bigger, I would say, because of the release, and it was just huge, at least on Book Talk, but I'm not okay. I am frustrated, and I don't feel like it lived up to what I wanted it to be, okay? There were a couple spicy scenes in this book that I did like, one spicy scene I didn't like, and then it was harder to follow for me. I'm a new fantasy girly, so the world building in Fourth Wing was very easy, but it was just a small area. Then they open up the world in this one and it was like, holy shit. Not only that, but it was hard to follow for me for names. You know, they go by their first names and sometimes their last names. And then you also have to know who their dragon is. And it's like, yo, that's a lot. And it was a lot. It was honestly a lot and it was hard to follow for me. There were a few characters in this book that did make it for me. Once you've read it, come back and go to my option 3 because I think you'll agree with me. There were a couple main characters who I didn't like. And I wasn't a huge fan of the main character relationship in this book where I was in this one. There are things that I did really enjoy, but most of all, I feel disappointed. I feel frustrated, and I feel like she better put my life back together come book 3 because I'm just shattered, honestly, shattered.